Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. Welcome to our live video series. This is going to be a good one because we finally have our first look at not just one, not two, not three, but four Kia EV6 models. So this is going to be a big day. If you are watching us for the very first time, we do these live videos every single weekday at 2 o'clock, and they are live. We interact with our crowd. If you want to skip ahead, we can tell you about that in a second, but do me a favor. If you're interested in this vehicle and you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do that right now, because tomorrow we're going to come back with more EV6 stuff. We're going to have a lot of shorter form stuff, so we can take these cars in bite-sized pieces in video as well. If anybody is going to cover these cars in detail, it is going to be this channel. So do me a favor, subscribe. And if you can, just hit us a like, drop a comment, positive comment, that kind of thing. And we'll keep rolling through with these vehicles. So what's our plan for today? Well, first of all, if you're not live with us, it's 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. If you're not live with us, then feel free to skip ahead to the 3-minute mark if you want. That's where we'll get going with the content. In the meantime, we'll show you how to join us live, which you may want to do tomorrow, because we're going to go over the technology of these cars tomorrow live at 2 o'clock. And we'll also talk about a quick bit of news and notes, which is basically all EV6 related anyway. So here we go. I'm going to show you how to join us live. Runaway red is your color. There we go. So we got some regulars on here. All right, jumping over here. I'm on the wrong page. Let me just flip across to where I need to be. There we go. All right, if you want to join us live, go to our channel at 2 o'clock Eastern time on a weekday, which is what it is right now. If you get to there and you refresh the page at exactly 2 o'clock like I'm doing, our live video will be there. That's every weekday we do this. So you can see we've got the video right there. Going to click into that. We're going to have to watch a quick little ad for, I don't even know what that is. So we're going to skip that ad for a second. While I'm running that ad, there are three dealers that support this channel: Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, Owenstown Hyundai, and support them. You can reach out to me if you want to buy a vehicle in Ontario. You can reach out to me through a link that will be in the description as soon as this video is done, and we will connect with you and set you up with our sales team. They will treat you like family. So here's the thing, guys. When we have 4 of these cars, we have committed to being leaders in the EV industry, especially in the Kia world right now. I'm going to stick with just Kia at this point. And this is an example of it. This is what happens when you're leaders in the EV world, in the Kia world. We have over 40 of these on the way to our dealership, and that's because we've earned your trust. I want to really point out, if you're buying an EV6, you should buy it through us. I know that sounds so cliche and so crazy, but we have more people who buy it through other things and don't do the research that I'm doing, that our team is doing, that our team in the back in the shop is doing. We want to make sure your ownership experience is number one. We do it before you buy it. That's what these videos are about, and we continue to earn your business after you buy these vehicles. So do me a favor. Let's work together. If you're going to buy an EV in Ontario, buy it from us. So we got some people from Quebec. They said if he was in Ontario, he would buy it from us. That's cool. Thanks for the endorsement. All right, 3 minutes in. Here we go. So what are we doing really quickly today? I do in-depth stuff. I'm not entertaining. I can promise you that. I will be informative. So this is a very much of an overview of this car, and we're gonna spend about a half an hour doing that. If this video is longer than a half an hour, we've just answered your questions. Tomorrow we're back. Tomorrow we're gonna do the same thing live at 2 o'clock, but we're gonna go specifically into the technology. We'll continue to bring these cars back in here again and again and again until you have everything you need to know about them. We're gonna make a number of shorter form videos in the coming days and weeks as well, but we're gonna do these half-hour-ish, which will probably be a little longer videos as well. Somebody just asked me about dealer markups. I wanna clarify that right now. There are dealer markups all over North America, all over the world on these cars. At Brantford Kia, you do not pay more. We do not mark up the car. We do not force you to buy things with the car that you don't want to buy. You want to buy this for MSRP, you buy it from MSRP. And I want to be super clear on that, because people question me on that all the time because they just don't believe it. That's one of the reasons you buy from us. We are committed to being an EV leader, and that's where we're going to go. All right, enough of the ads. Let's talk about the cars. First thing I always do is I show you the key. This is the new key for the EV6. This is the cars we're looking at today are the GT line package 2. All-wheel drive, 441 kilometers of range in the all-wheel drive. The max range is rated for 499 kilometers range. We'll talk about that in a second here. The GT2 is essentially everything included. Now, we did do a video yesterday confirming that no matter the trim level, every EV6 sold in Canada 2022 model qualifies for the $5,000 government rebate. You can ask me why. I'm just going to tell you in this video, absolutely that happens. They qualify for the rebate. So that 60, whatever it was here, 61,995, that qualifies for that government rebate. We can talk about why later. All right, when we talk about the key here, This key, of course, has the, oh, I already forgot the thing, the auto parking. I already forgot the title of this thing. Sorry, guys, I've had so much on my mind today. But you can park the car by moving it forward. And you know what? Let's just try it right now. First of all, just while we're looking at the key, I have a Seltos key beside me. This is a traditional Kia key. If you own a modern Kia, that's what your key looks like. You will see that the EV6 key is longer. There's no question it is a longer key, probably about similar thickness. But certainly a longer key that way. So buttons on the side, powered trunk will open, horn there, unlock and lock. And then on this side here, we can park the car. Let's show you how that works for a quick second. The car I'm using to example today, this is the car that I have been given access to by an owner. I will have this for a while to be able to play with, learn with, drive, all kinds of stuff, and make videos with. The other cars, if you're wondering if one of these cars is yours, if you've been contacted by us, it is. If you have not been contacted by us, they are not yours. We've already contacted the owners of this. So before I hit this and make it go, do me a favor, guys, there's 104 of you on right now. Let's just blast the likes out of here. I think we've never passed about 200 likes. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes today. And you guys can start it off by getting a whole bunch of people to join us if we all hit the like button together. All right, let's show you how to use this button function right now. So first thing we're gonna do is lock the car. As we lock it, those mirrors do fold in, and then we're gonna remote start the car. Remote starting, of course, on an EV can be done inside a garage. And, oh, am I doing this right? Hold on. Remote starting it here, and now I may have an issue here because I may have left something open or on. No, I should be fine. Yep, okay, so maybe I'm too far close away. So we're gonna lock it. We're going to remote start the car. Normally this worked. This just worked in the other video, but there we go. Remote start the car there. And now I am very tight to the wall over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna back up this car, but I don't have a ton of room to back up. So the way we're gonna do is we're gonna hold the backup button. So I'm gonna start pressing this button in a second, but watch the car, not me. So I'm gonna press the button right now. And it's in reverse. There it goes. Now I'm gonna stop it right away. It will stop itself before it hits the wall here, but I'm gonna come around this side and see if I can show you the backup lights while we're here. Let's talk about the signal lights in 1 second, but let's see if we can do it one more time. Sometimes it doesn't like when I do it here. Put in reverse again. It may not be happy with me standing here. There we go. Backup lights are just down the bottom. We'll show you that in a second. Coming back, coming back, coming back. We're gonna stop it right now. And there you go. Now you'll see the signal lights here. Signal lights on the one we saw at the LA Auto Show, we went there, were the chrome changing. Turns out in Canada, or maybe even North America, that's not legal here. So we can't do that here. So our signal lights are different than some other markets of the world. They are the red signal lights up here, as opposed to the amber signal lights that turn the chrome away. Let's see if we can move just a hair forward. I can't see in front of the car, so I'm gonna stop it quickly. It may not go forward because that wall is really close. Yeah, it stopped on its own, it slowed down, and I stopped it immediately right there. So pretty cool thing you can do with the car. Right now I'm gonna turn the remote start off again, and that's how you just turn the whole car off. You can hear the parking brake activate, and you can do that. So the reason you're gonna do that is if you're in a really tight garage spot, you can set that up as well. All right, overview, we're gonna look at the outside of the car right now. Actually, let's just look at the outside of the car right now. Let's turn on the lights, do the outside, then we'll do the inside. A couple of little differences here in Canada than other places. First of all, if the door is locked and it's not self-releasing for you, which it would do if had I done it different ways, you can still pull this open in the Canadian winters when the ice and snow goes in there. So of course the car is locked. I just tap that section there, the door pops out, and now I can open it like that. Powered seat down here, again, vegan leather, some recycled plastics in this car, lumbar support as well. I'm just gonna turn the lights on first. Actually, we'll turn the full car on, and we'll come back to the inside in a second here. So let's turn the car on. Start button on this car is down here. So kind of on this pillar, we'll look at that in a second here. And we're gonna turn all the headlights to the on position, and let's turn the left side signal on so we can work on that as well. So what you have out front here is very unique styled mirrors. A lot going on up here with the styling. Just kind of a unique look. Again, all about aerodynamics out here. This one is the steel gray in the matte. So there's the steel gray in the non-matte color. This is the matte color. Doesn't show up perfectly on camera, but we'll show you what we can. Now, when you look at the headlights here, of course, LED headlights and the LED marker lights here. Normally, these top lights here are the white color. They switch to a blazingly bright amber right there, which sometimes the camera dulls. You can see that there. Little camera in front down here. And of course, you have your radar plate down there. Camera upside in the window here as well. All typical Kia stuff. Now, one thing you don't see is lines in the hood. Visually, in person, this car looks exceptionally wide because without the lines in the hood, they actually carry over to the full side down there. From the front, this car looks very cool. One of the things I like to do when we get a whole new vehicle in here is I talk to our non-vehicle people and I say, what do you like? There's a lot of things that make this car interesting. The fact that the hood is one piece and looks very wide, you can see that. The chrome and the other metallic pieces, again, visually interesting things here. Body color wheel arches here, piano black down there. And then you have some cool things up top here. You have the extra wide sunroof up top, which we'll show you on the inside in a second. But the spoiler actually comes out from the car over here on the side, which is something you don't always see. And it is a, sort of a 2-level spoiler, so it can really work well with the air. Again, visually interesting stuff. Coming back over here, the lighting that comes across the back, visually interesting for sure. The back end of this car is really interesting to look at. The overall shape, this matte color, the way it looks like nothing else on the road, and it looks impressive. So while we're here looking at the 20-inch wheels on this vehicle, or all of these vehicles have 20-inch wheels, even the tires are unique. Now, if you've driven an electric vehicle, one of the perceptions, and this shows that Kia and Hyundai know what they're talking about with electric vehicles. One of the perceptions with an electric vehicle is that they are actually noisy. People expect them to be silent, but some people find that the road noise is more in an electric vehicle. So even these tires are designed to combat that, because when you don't have the engine noise of a gasoline engine, you notice the road noise, the wind noise. So the tires as well are designed with an extra layer of sort of sound insulating insulation there to keep this car quiet while you're driving. All right, that's the basic overview of the outside. We'll do more in the future. Let's jump in. Oh, you can see me approaching here. See, because I'm signaling here in the car, the camera that gives you the 360 view is in that camera. It looks down from the mirror, but it also is repurposed to show me right there in the blind spot. When you signal left and right, your blind spot comes up and you can see the clarity of this. This is super clear on that screen. So speaking of the screens, let's jump in here, turn the signal off, and take a look at these screens. Shut the door there and you can see everything. So again, signal left, there's the mirror, signal right, and there's your right side mirror there. And again, the clarity in here is excellent. So the screens that you have here, very hard to film exactly what I'm seeing here. I'm gonna bring my seat extra far back. So when I jump in the rear seat, remind me to move that seat proper forward. Visually, this is kind of the way I see it from the driver's seat. The steering wheel comes along here and it's kind of blocks that spot. And these are 12.3-inch screens. So you get like 2 feet of screen space when you go with the diagonal size there. So a lot of screen space, and visually it just kind of appears as one. There is a slight curl to the screen, so it is a curved screen technically. Not so much that you can't see from the passenger side. You can very easily see it from the passenger side here. But yeah, driver's side, no issues at all. So very good visuals here. Now we've seen similar software here in the Ioniq 5, and it is similar here. The Ioniq 5, of course, with the Hyundai is the first car that we've seen in person with this type of platform, and there are some shared pieces, but these cars don't drive alike, and we'll talk about more about that tomorrow. So they do definitely drive differently. Even though there's a shared platform, it's not like it used to be with the old GM stuff where they basically rebadged the exact same car. The motors and battery are shared essentially. Some of the wiring, some of the software is shared, but the entire vehicle from the floor up is a different vehicle essentially, and that's what's pretty cool about this new eGMP platform. So you can change all kinds of things in here. One thing that is going to take a little bit of getting used to that surprised me, in the pre-production cars, we saw these controls here, and we saw these controls here. And I wondered if it was maybe flip, because every Kia and Hyundai up till now has had essentially your driving and information controls over here, and they've had your audio controls over here. And if you have a separate Kia in your driveway and you take this home, it is going to take a slight adjustment, because for whatever reason, they have swapped these. It's the one thing that kind of, I don't understand why they did it. And it's just the only thing that I really am a little disappointed in the car with. Everything else, phenomenal. And again, if the only thing I complain about is that the controls are great, but they're reversed of what I'm used to, no big deal. So over here, lane follow assist, smart cruise control. This one has the highway drive assist 2. So highway drive assist 2, highway drive assist can help match the highway speeds, and you can sit there with intelligent speed limit assist, all those kind of things. You can do things on the cruise control system that essentially take care of the speed. It can help keep it centered in the lane. Now with Highway Drive Assist 2, the car is going to be capable of pressing the signal light like that, and when you're in your Highway Drive Assist, it will look for a space and it can switch lanes for you. So again, as we head into those electric cars that are essentially self-driving, this certainly has some features that feel exactly like that as well. So very good road tripping car, and when we talk about range, you've got the range to do it as well. So take a look at here. one button on the steering wheel, which is where it really should be on most cars, is the drive mode. So let's click into that, and you have your Eco, Normal, Sport, and then you're going to hold this down for snow mode. Now remember, you used to hold that down to go to an extra hyper eco mode. I can't remember what it was, Eco Plus or something like that in my Soul EV that I have. Now when you're holding down, you're putting it into a sport mode, and that makes sense because the Eco Plus mode was something that I think very few of us use as a practical sense, and the snow mode makes sense. So once you put it into the snow mode like I just did, you're going to split the drivetrain 50-50 power front and rear. You're going to dull the throttle. You're going to take care of the traction control. All those things are going to optimize it for the snow. And guess what? Tomorrow, it is supposed to snow here, and I happen to have an all-wheel drive EV6 that I'm allowed to drive. I don't know how much it's going to snow, but I will probably be able to get it out in there and try it out in the snow. Speaking of sport mode, let's just switch it into that. Sport mode, of course, makes this car a lot more fun. 400, I can't remember. Oh, man. I have all the specs written down on side, so I'm not even going to fake it right now. I had the horsepower and torque number memorized, and now I forgot for a split second. I don't want to be off by a little tiny bit. The point is 4.6 seconds, I believe. It is 0 to 60. This car is actually faster 0 to 60 than the Kia Stinger. So you've got this ultra efficient car with great range and faster than the Kia Stinger. And we can talk about the Stinger in another one. Is this going to take the Stinger and move it away? Let's move over here. I hit the wrong button already. There's your all-wheel drive gauges here. Let's switch the drive modes. And as you see, when we put in Eco, again, you can have the same gauge here, but everything just changes a little bit there. Some of the coloring changes. Go over here. There's your driver attention level over there as well. There's different levels here depending on what you're doing. And let's go into here. So we've got 3 little modes here for your range. Ignore range on this car. We've done, oh, actually, there's no, yeah, there we go. Ignore that 26.9. We've done various things with this where that may not be accurate. So we'll start figuring those out in future videos as well. Why no smart mode? Great question. Essentially, smart mode, the biggest thing of smart mode in an electric vehicle or in a Kia vehicle, the biggest thing it affects is your transmission. This one doesn't have a transmission. Now, what this one does have is in the all-wheel drive system, it has the ability to decouple the front motor. And that matters because you have the ability to basically make it's a 7% efficiency improvement when the front motor is decoupled. So when you're driving along, if you want a little bit extra efficiency, 7% extra efficiency when you can decouple that front motor if you want to do that and can do that. The interesting thing about the all-wheel drive things is, of course, both front and rear axles become regenerative braking capabilities. So that means that when you let off the throttle or let off the accelerator pedal, I guess I should say, you do have 320 and 446. Thank you for the horsepower numbers. 320 and 446 is torque. But when you let off the throttle, you have front and rear regenerative braking now, which of course, up until now, Kia has not had. We've only had 2-wheel drive electric vehicles, which means only 2 of the vehicles are driving there. So we're going to get to your questions in just a second, guys. I just want to flip through a couple more things here. Let's just show you one really cool thing. Again, a lot of this technology in here we're going to go over tomorrow, but I'm just going to give you a little fun little tidbit here. We threw the car in reverse here, and you can see we've got the 360 camera. None of this is new. When I turn the wheel, not only do you see where the rear of the vehicle is going, you can see where the front of the vehicle is going to go. So you can see if I'm going to hit that vehicle beside us. Do the same thing with the other side here. You can see if I did a sharp turn, I'd probably run my nose against the wall there. So that's pretty cool. And of course, this one changes as well. But what's really cool is, let's say I see that red vehicle beside me and I just kind of want to take a better look at it. Well, there's my car. Well, there's the wall beside me, right? There's the wall, so I can see that. But you know what? I kind of want to see, oh yeah, it looks like I'm pretty good. Yeah, you know what? There's the red car beside me there. I can see behind me. Let's just go bird's eye view. So this is a pretty cool way to just kind of flip around. Is it practicable driving? Maybe. I mean, I can see you might take a better peek at it, but you can sit there and play around with it. It's definitely something that's pretty cool to show your guests. The one thing that I think is a little too bad is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm in a gray car, and on the screen it showed a white car. I'm thinking a software update should update that. That'd be cool. All right, we're going to go take your questions right now. Do me a favor, guys. We've got 106 likes so far. I got 171 people on. We're going to have over 1,000 people jump in and out of this video over the next little while. So let's see if we can get to 200 likes. If we all hit the like button together, we're going to see a whole bunch of people join us. We'll keep going here. Notice the sunroof here. Let's just open that up for a quick second. We'll see how far it goes. Fairly quick opening sunroof, and there it goes. It stops right about there. Does it go any further? It does not. But again, that's all about aerodynamics. Where I'm sitting, it is right above me. It is definitely a larger sunroof. It doesn't look large on camera, but you can see my nice bald head is shining, and that is what you want to have in the sunroof. So we'll leave that open, take a look at it from the outside, make sure we're in park, and we're going to jump out of here. So what I'm going to do is answer questions. Somebody said, do they come with heat pumps? Yes, they do. So the heat pump, of course, can save you. Oh, I have the efficiency numbers. Remind me to check that in tomorrow, but it does save you a certain amount of efficiency. I think, oh, I do remember now. It's 3 times more efficient to use the heat pump than just the electric heat alone. So they do come with heat pumps on various trim levels. I believe you have to go rear-wheel drive long range to get that heat pump and up. I'll have to double check that exact spec, but the heat pump does make a difference in sharing that, the electrical load, sharing that heat there. Somebody's asking me about lease rates and that kind of thing. I am going with purely vehicle stuff today. You can connect with our sales team on lease rates, on finance, all those kinds of things. They will work with you. And again, as soon as this video is done, there'll be a link in the description to connect with me, and we'll talk about some of that pricing type stuff there. Does Kia follow the 20 to 80% battery charge rule, or are new batteries okay at 100%? I tend to follow that, but I haven't been told on anything official that that's where you have to be. I do still have to dig into the owner's manual about some of that stuff. So let me just set this camera down for a second. We'll take a couple questions here. Heat pump as well can capture that regenerative braking heat and throw that into the thing, so it doesn't waste that heat. It throws that in as well. Are these in stock? Yeah, there's 4 of them here right now. Now they do all happen to be sold. The one that I'm looking through today is a vehicle that the owner has given me access to, not just today, but today through the weekend into tomorrow or into next week. I'm gonna have plenty of more videos on that vehicle. I'll be able to do that as well. Do I have the actual battery capacity, not the usable? I might have that. Send me an email. I might be able to dig that up for you. I don't have some of that specs, some of those specs memorized. Okay, let me just jump in. My light turned off. Let me turn it on for a second here. I'll be right back. There we go. I've got cars blocking my motion sensor lights. So let's take just a couple questions here, and then we're going to go in here. What do I know about the 576 horsepower GT? I can tell you in our training, we have not had any official information on the GT model with like 576 horsepower, but I can tell you that in our training, they told us it's coming. That's all that they've said officially, and that is good. Okay, Tesla auto change feature on a Kia. Yeah, that's exactly it. Do you have EV6 available for test drive? Not so much right now. We have a number of owners, but we're working on that. So stay tuned to our channel. As we have them for test drive, we'll start talking about it. The one I have is just for my use right now, but not for everybody. Are the tires all season or summer? They are all season tires. And I'm trying to go through some of your questions here, guys. I'm gonna miss a lot of them here. Somebody says the Kia USA website says it's quicker than the Porsche Cayenne Coupe. Yep, that would be true. And where are we here? In terms of interior space, we're going to show you some of that interior space type stuff. We'll show you that. You guys want to see it compared to the Ioniq 5? I will do that in the future as well. We have Ioniq 5 with all-wheel drive coming in as well. Okay, tons of questions here. I'm going to skip them for now, come back to them because I want to make sure we're continuing with our video. Where are we headed? Rear seat space, trunk space, and again, tomorrow is highly technology features, so feel free to keep coming and we'll connect with that. There we go. Yes, tires are Continental Cross Contact, that's right. So, all right, let's jump in here. And remember, I put this seat too far back, so let's just make sure it is exactly where I want it. I did turn the car off and it turned off. So yeah, it's definitely too far back. So what I'm doing is just adjusting the seating position to where I need it, just so we have an accurate picture of me at 6 feet tall, where I want to be in this car, compared to where I would be in the rear seat of this vehicle. Now, I'm going to be honest. Oh, Meridian sound system, I didn't point that out. I have listened to it. Fantastic sound system. Probably, in my opinion, our best sound system yet in cars. I haven't listened to a lot of music yet, so I'll reserve the right to double check that again. All season tires, that's correct. All right, back here, GT2, or GT Line 2, we have the heated seats, 2 levels of seat heating, and you know what, we'll turn them on and leave them on right now. My understanding is it's just seat bottom, but we're gonna turn them on and see if we can see any difference. I believe that's all it is. So, getting in here, first of all, very large door. This is like, you know, this is not a small car, and they do not skimp out on here. So you have very large size door here. As we jump in, one thing I absolutely hate about every Tesla vehicle I've been in, headroom is fine, headroom's good here. Teslas kind of suck for having my legs on the seat. Guess what? My legs are perfectly comfortable in the seat here. The rear seats in here, you can't beat it. It's better than the Tesla vehicles. I don't know of any other EV that has a rear seat that is as good as these ones. And again, this is a little bit lower roofline than something like the Ioniq 5. I'll have to sit in there again. We'll double check that. Somebody says perfect for camping. We'll talk about this vehicle as a camping vehicle as well. We've got a couple cool features there. The big thing you're going to notice here is style. And there's do some cool style things. Right back here is a place to hold your coat. You can just hang it up there. It's kind of a unique headrest design style. And this extra little piece up there style. They still keep the plastic back seats. You guys know that I'm a big fan of this, especially if you have kids in the back. This becomes something that you can just wipe down with a damp cloth and it stays clean. Interesting rear pocket design. They did the right thing and put one on the driver and passenger side, and it holds a lot of stuff. It can really pop out quite a bit here. It has an elasticized area there, but it is a hard plastic cover, which is interesting. In my mind, that's a win. That makes it easier to clean down here as well. Over here, you've got some interesting design here. Not only is it just is it designed to look like this, and I'm not really filming it great, it also has a bit of a texture to it. It has some grip in here as well. No vents or ports down there, but that's okay because I have USB ports in the back of the seat right there as well. So these, are they USB-C? I'm just looking at them for the very first time. I thought they were USB, but they look like they're USB-C ports now. So that is new. I forgot to show you ports in the front. We're going to go back to the front and show you some of that stuff there. Airbag system right there as well that's labeled on the seat. So overall back here, excellent space back here. Dark roof liner does leave it a little bit darker. Rump roasters I can already feel. Did we mention that the leather here is artificial leather? So it's vegan leather, they call it. And then also you have plastics that are, many of them are recycled plastic there as well. So a lot of just, you know, eco-friendly type options there. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to the trunk area, show you the trunk space, and then we're going to go back and show you some of just the controls because I didn't show them and I feel like I should. Again, tomorrow's technology. Oh, I forgot to point out, of course, there's no vents here, but there, excuse me, there are vents back here. I'm sorry to leave that out. There are vents right here, so you can turn them on or off in the door pillar. And I believe that has to do with the floor here where you would normally put vents. Let me come back here. This is a flat, whoops. Come on, camera. There we go. This is a flat floor. You can see I put my foot right across there. Flat floor in the rear, flat floor in the front, and that is all battery down there. So now you route the vents in a different way. Personally, I like this. I think this is closer to your body. It's a little easier for each passenger to adjust that, and it makes, to me, more sense than having it in the middle there. So no vents there because there are vents on the outside there. All right. Jumping out, I'm going to turn that seat heater off now. Okay, teddy bear test. Here we go. Why do we do a teddy bear test? Well, a teddy bear test is our trunk measurement tool. Lots of ways to open the trunk. Because the car is on, the only way I can do it is tap down here. One thing, oops, there we go. One thing I'll point out is those are LED lights on the license plate lights. A lot of our vehicles don't have LED lights, and that's kind of a weird thing. A lot of people are asking me, does this car come with the car charger? And yes, it does. It's a question that I always assumed it was going to, but I don't think any of our early specs showed it. So this one comes with a little bit of a Velcro grip in the back there. Remember, this one has what's called vehicle to load. If you don't know what that is, this is a car charger that you can plug in. And then when you plug it into the side here, I don't know if it'll open because the car is turned on. We'll just, yeah, we'll have to, oh, there we go, it did open. So when you plug it in here, you have the ability to plug a regular household plug in there and power all kinds of devices. So well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have my electric barbecue here one day, and I'm going to do a live video while we're cooking burgers on the barbecue because you can do that. This is not just a wimpy little plug like in some of the other vehicles that are here, but it is a good plug. When you plug the car in, you can sort of see roughly how much charge is here. And as soon as you plug it in, it will tell you vehicle is charging. It has a voice, which you can turn on or off. Again, technology we're going to talk about tomorrow. So you do have this piece here. I'm going to zip that up so I don't lose anything here. I'm going to zip that up and take it and leave it out for now because I want to show you the trunk space. So first of all, underfloor storage space, yeah, it's okay. There's a Meridian sound system there. There's a little bit of space down there. This can be dropped down a little bit, I believe. Well, there's everything there. Anyways, I'm going to leave it in position here because I'm struggling with one hand to do that. But you do have the trunk floor there. It's a pretty long trunk floor. It's not incredibly deep. Again, you've got some stuff underneath there with the rear-wheel drive motor and everything else there and everything else. But let's show you how big it is. Why do we do a teddy bear test? We do a teddy bear test because you can use this to compare to other videos that we have to see which trunk is bigger or smaller. Some people say I should put golf clubs. Some people say I should put their things. If you want to bring your things in, we're a dealership. You can bring your stuff in. But there's our teddy bear test. His tummy is a little tight to the cargo blind here. But again, cargo blind, probably I would assume an eco-friendly material, a little different material than some of our other vehicles. But you can see Teddy's tummy fits well underneath there. It's a teddy bear and a third, maybe a little bit teddy bear and a half floor there. And of course, if I wanted to fold down the seats, I can do that quite easily from the back by pulling on either of these levers over here. So pop that one down, seat goes down in a hurry. And I'm gonna pull the other one here. You can just watch the seat this time. Pop it there, drops down in a hurry. And now I can take that cargo blind out, and we have a massive opening of essentially not quite flat folding seats, but pretty close. And you can see that you've got all kinds of space in the trunk. And we'll compare that again a little bit later in the future. Starting price, $44,995. I'm within a couple bucks of that. And again, that qualifies for that $5,000 government rebate. All right, let's jump back into the front. I want to show you just some of the controls. There's some things that in here that are a little bit unique. First of all, ambient lighting. Ooh, we want to go back to here. Ambient lighting. You do have some blue ambient lighting you can see across here. I'm sure you can change the color. We'll do that a little bit later. But there you go. It comes across there like that. You also have it down on the floor here, which looks pretty cool when the vehicle's in a darker environment. And again, we'll get into customizing some of that stuff in tomorrow's video. Coming down here, we talked about the screen here, which again, we know a lot about this. We're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. Let's check this out. Now, this is your climate system here. All of these, of course, are touch-sensitive buttons. Some people are going to complain about them. There's really no reason to do that. Some people say, well, I already know that I can hit my nav button. If it's a physical button, I don't have to take my eyes off the road. The reality is, you're lying. Even if it's a physical button, you're going to take your eyes off the road. They're very instant responding. So if we hit map here, it instantly responds, and you have our information right up there in the map. If you want a whiter color screen instead of a darker color screen, you can set that up as well. But all of these are instant responding, so they're very quick, very easy. But you may be sitting there and go, hey, where are the radio controls? Because obviously, right now we have climate controls here. Actually, these are radio controls, but we can switch to the climate. So if you want to switch to the climate, there you go. In general, on an EV, you'll notice that if it's in the radio section where it was, by tapping the center section, if it's in the radio section here, in general, on an EV especially, you want the auto climate, and that's all you want. You want the auto setting right there. If this is on automatically, that's going to work with you with an EV. Now, this is no different than a regular gasoline car, but we're going to sync the temperatures together here. So we've got 21.5 here, 21.5 there. They're synced together. As long as it's in the auto setting, that's going to work with you for the best efficiency. Now, you can play with the auto setting if you want to turn it down, but this is going to go to radio. You can keep it on the radio, and these knobs are your radio buttons now. There's your volume button. There's your tuning button. And as long as it says auto, it's automatically going to set it to the temperature you want. If you want to start playing with it, again, you can tap this there, and then you can adjust your temperature here, temperature there. At first, I thought I wasn't going to like this because I thought it totally switched. But now that I realize I still keep some climate controls here, the ones I'm going to use regularly, with everything here, this is a perfectly fine system. It's not something that's going to take a lot of getting used to. So when somebody tells you, oh, it's a pain to switch this, it's not, because the systems you use the most are right here. This is just information, right? This is just extra things. You don't need to go to your air conditioning to turn your air conditioning on. You don't need to adjust your fan speed when you have auto climate control. You don't need to adjust various things in here. You have your front and rear defroster over here, regardless of whether you have your radio up. So I'm a big fan of this because it cleans it up, and it is smarter than I thought it was. I thought I wouldn't like switching between, but the main system for climate is right there. So something to keep in mind. All right, I'm going to go back and try to answer some of your questions here. I'm going to turn this climate system off. The car thinks it's very cold, so we'll turn that off. I'm going to go try to answer as many questions as I can. We're still looking for 200 likes. We've never hit 200 likes before. We've got 201 people on right now. Let's get to 200 likes. Let's take some of your questions. And again, remember, we are back here tomorrow to talk about technology and everything that we haven't talked about. And again, we're going to do shorter form stuff as well. One thing I did mention, this has ventilated seats as well as heated seats. So again, we'll probably save some of that for the technology. Peter, can you show us the interior vehicle to load? Let me do that tomorrow just because I want to get to some questions, and we'll go back in and do that as well. And we'll probably do a lot. I'm going to do a vehicle to load specific thing. And if I'm allowed, I'm going to go camping with this car. In theory, I can. Going to take my little 2,000-pound trailer, which could be towed by this car. I don't know if we'll have a hitch, but we'll take our 2,000-pound trailer, and I'm going to power my 2,000-pound trailer, power the electrical for the weekend, and we'll go camping for a night and show you how you can do that with a vehicle to load, both inside and outside. So let's flip around. Oh, actually, we'll just keep it on me for a second. A couple things I should have probably pointed out. What are we talking about? The range on these cars, 441 rated range for the all-wheel drive vehicle that we're looking at today. You can get up to 499 for the rear-wheel drive. Both of those, if it's traditional Kia stuff, are not under ratings. In the winter, that will be optimistic. But 3 seasons of the year, I'm betting I can take these cars, especially that 499 one. I'm betting I can squeak out 600 kilometers. Now, I'm not saying that you can do that easily, but I'm betting I can. Generally speaking, Kia underrates the range on these cars up until these models. That's what they've done. So I've been able to squeak out significantly more. I have a car rated for 248 kilometers. I regularly get 300 in the summer. So we're going to see how these do in real world ratings as well. Okay, so tons of questions here. There's no chance I'm going to get to everything, so I'll do what I can to look at what we've got here. Battery preheating type stuff, you're asking about that. Yes, this car, when you're charging it, it can take care of the heating systems. They have the most modern systems is the short answer to all of these things. Oh, perfect. Andre's answering in French. EV6, he's someone that I trust quite well with the information on this. He's answering in French. Andre, there was somebody else that was asking me a question in French, and I didn't understand it, so I'm not sure if you caught that. I do my best. So, but he is someone who I know only through the internet, but him and I are on the same page with most of these cars. So not somebody we fully work with, but someone who I trust on the information. Did it have a flat screen on the dash? So technically the flat screen is actually a gentle curve to it, so it's not quite flat. What's the wait time to get one? It's gonna be a while. Pretty much everybody's getting one now. They've been ordered already, and you're ordering at this point of 2023. I don't have the exact dates in front of me. That's a good reason to connect with our sales team there. HomeLink, somebody asked. HomeLink, oh, where'd it go? Somebody asked something about HomeLink, and I already lost it here. I don't remember if this has HomeLink. I believe it does on the mirror. We'll double check that in a second for you. Couple questions in French there. I apologize, guys. I do try to read French, and I have in the past read French and answered it, but I'm going to leave some French people to help me answer those questions a little bit better. Any Electrify Canada free charging? No, not the free charging here in Canada that I've been told. So nothing like that coming up. Oh, is it true they eliminate the HomeLink function? You know what? Now I need to check. You're saying that you think they eliminated HomeLink? I don't remember seeing it, so let's just double check. You know what? I don't see it on the mirror here. So maybe, oh, interesting. Yep, there is nothing on the mirror here, so it's possible that HomeLink is not on the car. We have the SOS buttons there, the UVO Intelligence Kia Connect buttons in there, but I don't see the HomeLink. So good question. I didn't see that. Interesting. Maybe they can make it a software link inside the vehicle. Yeah, no HomeLink. There we go. My boss is helping me here. So yeah, haven't seen HomeLink in the car. It's a good point. Good catch. All right, so we're going to take just a couple more questions here. We're going to keep this under 40 minutes today. Looking for 18 more likes to see if we can get 200. We've never done that before. Can the rear cover be stowed on like on the E-Niro? I believe it can in the back. We'll look into that, and we'll make a video on that again tomorrow or in the next couple days. Does Kia have any no partnerships with electric charging here in Canada. Couple answers in French was good. Yeah, somebody says the teddy bear test really shows how big the Carnival is. Carnival's got a huge trunk. Absolutely. So yeah, those of you wondering in the live chat, Patrick Hart is my boss here. He is answering everything he's saying. You can definitely trust. He works with us. I also, again, EV6 there, certainly has very good information. I trust his information as well. What else was there in questions here? Is this smaller than a Honda CR-V? I don't think so. It's certainly longer than a Honda CR-V. In my book, it is definitely lower. It is very much a sporty version of a car. It's not true sports car, but it's sports SUV is kind of the thing I would say. So yeah, definitely cargo space would be, I don't know, maybe it's comparable, maybe it's not. I can pronounce it Evolution. There we go. That's what I was wondering. So I only met you online, so I can pronounce it Evolution. There we go. Anyways, yeah, CR-V would be a shorter vehicle. This would be longer. The wheelbase is certainly very long. And when you have a long wheelbase, the strength to that is a better ride. So we'll talk about the ride again tomorrow in future videos. But the concern I had with a long wheelbase is does it have a sharp turning circle? And I can confirm it turns fairly sharp. I was impressed with that when I drove that as well. So there is that. All right, 6 more people to give us a like. What else can I do for the like other than, try to show you the vehicle? Again, really quickly, let me just cover things up. If you're going to buy a EV6, buy it from Brantford Kia. I know that sounds silly. We have a number of customers who are happy with us. Like I said, we've got over 40 of these cars coming in already. We're going to have a whole bunch more. We're doing our best to learn the products. We're not perfect, but we're doing our best. We're doing our best to communicate with you when the car's coming, what the story is with, how long it takes to get here, those kind of things. When the vehicle comes, our service team knows these cars. They're researching cars. They're backing up these things. They're doing what they need to do. I've seen a number of issues with people with EV6s, and they're telling us, oh, I'm finding out I'm being charged more than I expected for the vehicle. That doesn't happen here. We charge MSRP. So right from beginning to end, we are committed to being leaders with these vehicles. I want you to buy through us. Sometimes I get some calls and you're like, oh, I was going to buy through you and I didn't. And then they have issues. And I was like, well, so again, if you're in Ontario, buy through us and we will get the car to you anywhere in Ontario. We will ship it to you for no charge. We will work with you for that. All right, I can't answer every question here. I will go through all the questions tonight, I promise. We're back tomorrow live at 2 o'clock. We're going to do a full technology review. I'm going to have driven the car, potentially driven it in the snow by then, spend some more time driving the car. We're going to talk about some of that technology. I'm going to show you how that works. And again, we're going to continue to make videos on this car moving forward. So we're the place for your information. Subscribe to our channel. And I think we're just going to have to leave it there. There's so much more to show you. We'll do a little better look at the overview probably tomorrow in a shorter video of the overview of the outside of the car as well. Thanks everyone for joining us. It's been fun, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. We'll see you live tomorrow.